Hello, this is Regina. This is going to be a part 2 to my text in a hole that I did the other day and posted. I'm going to show you a little more in depth on this with decorative stitching. This particular one, go to the top, boop, 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 was just with stippling. I didn't show you any decorative stitching, and there's a couple little things you should be aware of. So let me get back over here to text in a hole part 2. So when I did this particular project, I used all the stippling, and everything in this video right here from the other day was stippling. One thing that I don't believe I mentioned is that it can also be done with decorative stitches. But it has to be decorative stitching that is either in the machine or in the program, or one you have created in the programmable stitch creator, which is up here on the right, top right, in programmable stitch creator. That opens this right here. So if you create a design and you're thinking that you can bring it in to a hoop, let me get rid of these others. I brought this into 3, but let me just do this real quick and select this and go center. Whoops. I do that real regular. Select that, right click, center, and I'm going to change my hoop size to 9 by 14 and say OK. And I'm going to back out of that. And I'm going to, let me get this hoop in the right direction. All right. So you've created this design in PE Design, and you want to do a hole sewing in it and put something here in the middle. I don't know what. It doesn't make any difference what design you've created. I just happen to have this one on hand. So if you select the whole design and you go to Modify Overlap, Set Hole Sewing, you get an error message. You can't do it in something like this. You have to have created it in your programmable stitch creator. So if you're going to go to the trouble to do this and you want to do hole sewing, create whatever design. Let's see here. Let's just do a quick, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've tried it with just I think you can do it with a fill box and a fill, let's change the color of this one to red and put it here so we can see it. And if I select these and do Modify Overlap, you can do it. Okay. But when you've got something like this design that is a red line drawing or something like that, for whatever reason, it doesn't let you do it. So if your intention is having this part as a background like this, and you want to put something else on top of it and do a hole sewing on it so you're not stitching on top of stitches again, this is what you have to do. You have to create it in Programmable Stitch Creator, and then do your box, change it from fill to decorative stitches when you're creating. Bring your decorative stitch in, okay, and then, there we go. And then create your text, and then go around your text. And once again, you can see that I've done it carefully in here instead of haphazardly, sort of like in the other video. And then do your, select your pointer tool, and you can select all of the designs behind the text. You don't want to select the text. Select, right click and select objects, and then go to modify overlap. And this is just another way to do it than what I showed you in part 1. And then do set whole sewing. Okay, so now you don't get a message, and you can see up here that this right here is your box that you created with the decorative fill in it, and it's created the whole sewing in it. So now you would have to select this, which is the box you drew around the text, and turn it off. And then you'll see that your text doesn't have any stitching inside the letters. Get in closer so you can see. Your text doesn't have any stitching inside the letters or close to the letters. So that's what I mean by being able to do text in a hole. Okay, text sewing in a hole. I mean, text in set whole sewing. Oh, say that 10 times, or even 2. All right, so now hello. I'm going to do a reverse on this so that it doesn't have the whole sewing in it. And I'm going, okay, it's one of those mornings already. I'm going to move my text back up here, which is where it would be if you were starting from scratch. You would already have your text on here, and then you would be drawing around your text. And when you have it in this arrangement, you have to select your box that you've drawn around your text, hold the Control and Shift, click this box, which is your decorative fill, select, right click and hit select, right click and click select objects, go to home, modify overlap, and set whole sewing. So now you can see that it's done the whole sewing with the text behind. So no matter how you do it, you just always want to make sure that you're going to click on your your fill box that went around your text and turn off the stitching for the fill. And voila, there you go. All right, well, I hope that clarifies things. So to recap, you can't do it on designs like this. We tried it. I've tried it a number of times, and it just doesn't work. If I move this circle over here on top of this design, move this out of the way, and I select all of it. Okay, whoop. Select all of it and go to modify overlap, set whole sewing, it won't do it. But if I, instead of creating this design as a background fill, do your decorative stitching, now that we have that capability in Palette 11 and PE Design 11, and use your decorative fill, remember to fill up your box and get as much of it, get as much of the design out to the edges as you can to make it look like a big fill. And of course then you can see if I can change it while it's in here. I'm not sure if I don't think I've ever tried that. Let me go to 2.50. Okay, so it will let you change it. But for me, I think I like it a little more open for what I'm going to be doing. Not quite so dense. All right, I hope that clarifies a few things. stippling you can do it. You can't do it when you bring in a red work type design that you've created or purchased and do a whole sewing on top of that. But you can now in PE Design 11 and Palette 11, you can do it with your decorative fills. So that's nice. And like I said, this is PE Design, this is Palette 11 that I'm using right now. All right, thank you for watching. I hope this clarified things for you, and I'd appreciate a thumbs up and like and share and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a good day.